Coming up next on NBC News 4811, Tallahassee Mayor Scott Maddox says adding 2 floats depicting diversity is the first step in ending the springtime Tallahassee controversy. Why some people say it's 2 steps back when your news starts now.
WTWC-TV, NBC News 40. This is your news.
At 11, the city tries to put the springtime Tallahassee debate to rest, but the specter of Andrew Jackson looms heavy over the talks.
The city's deal for a Civic Center Marriott hinges on millions of tax dollars, and lots of taxpayers aren't buying that.
And today's execution of the Black Widow prompts new cries of outrage over Florida's electric chair.
Good evening, I'm Kevin Christopher.
And I'm Stacey Adams. Your top story tonight. Tallahassee city officials say their compromise with springtime Tallahassee over the Andrew Jackson controversy is the first step in ending the debate for good. Although Jackson will remain as the figurehead for Saturday's parade, the city will add 2 floats which promote racial harmony. The floats will be named Civil Rights Look Back, Leap Forward, and Diversity, Many People, One Community. Mayor Maddox says the floats are the first step in ending the parade's divisiveness, but people against the inclusion of Jackson disagree.
That would be like offering the black Muslims the opportunity to wear the Klan outfit and saying, isn't that enough?
Officials with the city and Springtime Tallahassee agreed to begin negotiations for next year's parade immediately after this year's is over.
But what about this year? Are 2 additional floats going to satisfy people?
NBC News 4's Todd Sloan joins us now live from the update desk with what people in Tallahassee are saying about the city's compromise. Todd?
Stacey and Kevin, there's no doubt this parade is a controversial one, and the city's attempt to lessen the controversy is appreciated by residents, but many feel there needs to be more. Some of the people we talked to say the additional floats are enough, but many think, while they are a good idea, it doesn't really solve the big problem, and that's race relations.
I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing because, it's time for us to, to come together now. It's time for us to pull together, because that's the way it is now. It's not a separation thing anymore.
I don't think it's really the solution. I think it shows that the city is making a step forward, recognizing the cultural diversity in Florida.
I think the best solution is to come up with something else, another idea for the parade.
So I don't think that's really the issue. I don't think that bringing in the civil rights flow is going to, resolve the underlying feelings that people have about slavery.
So while people think city officials are trying to do good, they hope a better solution can be reached. And that's something city officials say they will be working on for next year. Kevin?
Thank you, Todd. Here's something else they're working on. Leon County needs your tax dollars as the deal maker on a new hotel at the Civic Center. But a lot of people say they don't want to help foot the bill. The Marriott Hotel Convention Center is a $43 million project that includes a $7 to $8 million commitment from the city and county. The Tallahassee Area Common Sense Committee says the results of their public opinion poll show 7 out of 10 people don't approve of that.
51% of Leon County voters who have an opinion of the hotel issue oppose the county commissioners using tax dollars to help fund the proposed Marriott Hotel near the Civic Center.
County Commissioners Gary Jordan and Bruce Host say the poll is misleading. They say the money taxpayers kick in would only pay for meeting rooms and improvements to the Civic Center parking lot, not the Marriott. Officials for Marriott say without the tax dollars, they'll back out of the deal.
If you have a car loan with SunTrust Bank, you could be getting a check in the mail. SunTrust has agreed to refund current and former auto loan customers more than $6.5 million for improperly charging excessive car insurance. In their loan contract, SunTrust reserved the right to insure cars against damage if the buyer failed to maintain proper coverage. But in this case, SunTrust charged more than was required by law.
Where SunTrust went wrong during the time period that we investigated them is that they had what we consider to be excess coverages above and beyond comprehensive and collision, which is what is required in the first place.
Cash refunds will go to consumers who no longer owe money to SunTrust, while credits will go to those who still owe the bank money.
Early this morning, Florida executed the 3rd woman to be put to death in the United States since the death penalty was reinstated. The convicted killer, Judy Buenoano, known as the Black Widow, became the first woman to die in the state's electric chair. NBC's Michael Williams reports.
Just before 7:15, a witness waved a handkerchief to signal that Judy Buenoano was dead. A small group of death penalty protesters had gathered. Most had already left before her hearse departed prison grounds. Of her execution, Buenoano had said weeks ago,
"That's horrible. It's a horrible process. But I won't let it frighten me. I just will not."
Witnesses say Buenoano, her head shaved, wearing plain clothing, betrayed no emotion, made no final statement, only wincing a bit as straps were tightened on her chest. Buenoano, nicknamed the Black Widow, condemned to die for the arsenic poisoning murder of her husband. She was also serving a life prison sentence for the drowning of her paraplegic teenage son and was jailed for the poisoning and car bombing of a fiancé. He survived. In each case, police said, Buenoano's aim was an insurance payout.
Judy could have been guilty, or she could have been innocent. The way it was handled, she could only be convicted.
Police detective Ted Chamberlain broke the Buenoano case. He witnessed her death and recently said of that fate,
"You're going to do things that she did, and the penalty is electric chair. Damn it, that's what you get."
40-year-old Daniel Rometta, who killed 5 people, laughed about it, and initially asked to be executed, is scheduled to die in the chair tomorrow. But because a reporter witnessed smoke coming from Buenoano's leg during her execution, Rometta filed an appeal with the state Supreme Court alleging the chair malfunctioned.
The cleanup has begun in southern Minnesota, where powerful tornadoes ripped across the area Sunday night, killing a young boy and injuring at least 24 others. That tops a look at stories making headlines across the nation tonight. The twisters flattened homes, uprooted trees, downed power lines. A 6-year-old boy was killed when the twister blew the van he was riding in off the road. The wind sucked him out of that vehicle and tossed him 150 yards. Storm survivors described the experience as terrifying.
And in a rare sight for southern Arizona, a spring snowstorm dusted the foothills outside Tucson. Temperatures in town hovered around 40, which is pretty chilly for this Sunbelt city, where 3-digit temperatures are the norm, not snow. Luckily, today was an off day for Cactus League baseball teams as they get ready for opening day of the regular season.
But we had lots of luck here in the weather. Beautiful.
Beautiful weather. Will it keep up, Mike Rucker?
Very, very nice. Summer-like weather, and we've had some wild weather around much of the country, as you saw a while ago. We'll talk more about that at the national map here in a few minutes. As you can tell, I'm still being affected by the pollen, doing everything we can with drinking hot things, cold things, all kinds of medications, but I guess it's going to leave when it wants to. And hopefully we can wash out the air with some rain. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, too. These were the high temperatures around the southeast today. 84 degrees, Tallahassee Airport's high. It was 86 in some areas around our viewing region today. Mariana had 86 degrees, and Perry had 86, as well as Gainesville. And we had temperatures as high as 89 degrees in Fort Myers and Naples this afternoon for the warmest temperature in the southeast. A look at satellite tonight, not many clouds to see. We had some scattered ones during the day, but for the most part, it's clear over us tonight. And Doppler radar view was showing a few scattered showers moving across the central and southern portions of the state. Very small showers that formed off the Atlantic Ocean today, but that's about it. Right now at our 11 o'clock hour, we have clear skies and 60 degrees, very pleasant outside. Humidity at 87%, the wind is calm, and pressure holding steady at 29.98 inches of mercury. Our forecast, clear and cool, low temperature by tomorrow morning about 58 degrees. That's what we'll start with. We'll talk about that wild weather around the country again in a few moments. Stacey and Kevin?
All right, Mike, thank you.
A woman with HIV sues for protection under the Americans with Disabilities Act. But will the United States Supreme Court rule in her favor? We'll have the details.
Did you know people who don't want blood transfusions can still have operations without them? We'll show you some options in your Health Tracker report.
And later, Governor Childs announces Children's Week in an effort to get more funds for Florida's kids.
Tallahassee, Thomasville, Valdosta. This is Your News with Kevin Christopher, Stacey Adams, meteorologist Mike Rucker, and Jim Taylor with sports. You're watching NBC News 40 at 11.
Call Roof Masters at 562-5516. That's 562-5516. We specialize in cleaning roofs of mold and mildew. First, we trim overhanging branches and blow off debris. Then we apply our Chem Wash cleaning system. Just look at the difference. We at Roof Masters have saved many homeowners thousands of dollars in roof repairs caused by mold, mildew, and rot. Call Roof Masters today at 562-5516. That's 562-5516 for a free estimate on roof or complete exterior home cleaning.
Barbara!
Chase, what are you doing here?
Barbara, I cannot deny my love any longer.
You must. You really gotta go.
Never without you, Barbara.
Barbara, are you with us?
Wow, this pita's good.
When you eat Wendy's delicious fresh stuffed pitas full of all those wonderful things start to happen. Wendy's fresh stuffed pitas. Feel good, look good.
Hi, I'm Mike Rucker.
And I'm Nancy Dignon.
And we're proud to introduce the newest member of your Storm Track 40 weather team, Jeff Donald.
Thanks, Mike. Come join us and the entire News 40 team for the 30th annual Springtime Tallahassee.
The parade kicks off at 10:30 a.m.
And afterwards, from noon until 5, NBC News 40 is sponsoring Jubilee in the Park.
With the finest in arts and crafts, the best food, and great live entertainment.
We'll be heading up the main stage by City Hall at noon.
So bring your family out to Springtime Tallahassee Jubilee in the Park Saturday, April 4th.